Trying to force reactions for sure.
We're going to find out who's going to take this first game. It is NP versus Virtus.Pro with ODPixel and Gods.
Prepare for battle.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Asus RoG DreamLeague casting desk. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Gods, and we're ready to get you through the first game of the day. Let's get ourselves into this one, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, VP up against NP. We've heard from the panel, and we heard from ourselves before. We were thinking, alright, we feel that VP is going to have the edge in this series. Do you think that's shown as well in the draft here, or is there kind of some things you like about NP's lineup?
Definitely like some things about MP. I don't think they've lost the draft, but similarly, I don't think they've won the draft in any kind of way that's going to tip the balance in their favor. No one on the mid lane TA versus Invoker should do very well. We'll see, and that's with an Ogre as well. So I think the Ogre plus TA versus an Invoker in the mid lane is an absolute massacre if NP aren't ready for it. NP are going to be looking just for the very stable, one of AUI's best heroes, the Sven in the safe lane, to be kind of their rock to carry them through the mid to late game. The Abaddon's a bit of an unusual pick. I'm curious to see how much it can get done. Maybe kind of a dual lane setting with the Spirit Breaker can be very pesky to deal with, but Jug IO, pretty good sustain. If Ogre really needs to, he can rotate down bottom. Lil can help out bottom lane as well as mid, so I think across the board, VP have the answers they need for NP.
The battle begins.
We're going to see both sides. I'm not going to fight around the rune spot. Just Pasha laying down a few stacks. Well, actually, he's looking towards Envy.
Did some damage.
It's got to be a little careful. SVG maybe seeing if he could get a lift up, but yeah, we're sorry backing up Pasha. Unlikely that MP could do anything to punish that. But yeah, in terms of the lanes, as you said, this bottom lane, Ogre at the moment, Lil, maybe looking to sit around with Ramses. We see Solo on the IO actually heading up top to potentially duel up with the Batrider. I mean, how much pressure could this Abaddon put onto this Juggernaut? Should the Jug be fine in this lane?
Jug should be fine. Just Abaddon alone is like, you could actually like 1v1 this lane, not to say you want to do that as a support. I imagine we'll see Lil kind of linger around, do some pulls, get some levels in farm. He's actually is going to be this kind of safe lane Ogre. Decides that no one at mid on the TA doesn't need his help, which is pretty true, and TA does just fine, straight 1v1 against an Invoker. And of course no one, probably the best mechanical CIS mid player at the moment, so he's definitely going to feel confident in his 1v1 abilities here. Yeah,
and I guess level's pretty crucial as well. You know, no one getting that early XP.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually a good point. You don't maybe want to be splitting your XP with an Ogre if you don't need it. If you're in a 1v1 where it's like the help is going to make a big difference, sure, but it's a 1v1 where you've already feel like you've got an edge. Envy's already chewed through a Salve and a Tango, and he has 1 CS. So this is already a very poor start for Jackie on the mid lane Invoker. It is tough. The thing we mentioned about with this mid lane matchup being very crucial for this matchup is the ping disadvantage, and that's somewhat being shown here with the CS early on.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're just that slight difference, which in some matchups might not, you know, cost quite a big difference. Definitely, when it's Envy against no one, it's gonna every little thing matters. Every little thing matters.
This is one of those players that you just can't beat unless you're on the top of your game in terms of CS. Not to say this is going to cripple NP totally. It's not like you lose the game just because the mid lane is one side in CS. NP can always fall back to the jungle. You're always going to go that Midas build, so the catch-up naturally kind of presents itself. We saw similar things from Invokers yesterday as well, where they have a really bad laning stage but still have a big impact once they exit that laning stage. So it's not all hope is lost for the NP fans out there just because of this mid lane.
Yeah, but it really is. Indeed, it doesn't look
worse and worse.
It doesn't look pretty. But
it's got 4 CS now, but when you have to buy a second salve this early on and you're not actually getting farm, like if you're trading regen for farm, it's one thing, but he's trading regen just for XP at this point. The farm is not going with the regen.
Yeah, and down as well, and then Ramses. Finding the same CS as Zowie up top. MSS actually going in pretty aggressively, giving Ramses. He's got another aquatic shield.
Yeah,
I can see one dive.
I mean, that looks like some good pressure, but realistically, Jug's like just trying to find an opportunity to use the salve.
So like,
top lane,
take it down. MP picking themselves up. The first blood. As Sully just slightly out of position, getting a bit aggressive. And a lot of lockdown and control among these 3 heroes on the side of MP. So very much ready for a fight if it kicks off. And squishy old IO, very susceptible to being bursted down by these cores.
Yep, nice little kill for NP. feels like the kind of kill they need to have happen in the lane stage because they're not going to come out on top in terms of raw CS by any means. And AUI, his lane is being somewhat contested, so it's a bit annoying to see. I mean, there's 3 heroes up here. VP are just like, our Jug's fine, 1v1. This is kind of what I mentioned, where Jug doesn't actually need the support to verse in Abaddon by any means. If he can beat Abaddon to level 6, he actually has some good kill potential on this lane before Abaddon hits his borrowed time, and you're always going to be able to farm with just the one value point in Healing Ward, the poor man's shield plus Quelling Blade. It's a lane where he's going to free farm away. Just means Abaddon can actually be kind of annoying if he doesn't have the support presence.
Still in this mid lane matchup, the numbers not looking great at all for Envy. It's not just really just the last, it's the fact that the denies are coming through from Nolan as well.
Yep.
Holding Envy back in regards to levels, and indeed we can see there's about, there's a full level between these two heroes now at this stage of the game.
No one will find a bounty rune. Some kill potential when he hits level 6 on TA. There's not going to be any Ghost Walk or anything along those lines for Envy, and that's where he'll definitely have to have protection. So we'll see what's it going to be. Treads, phase boots. He goes for the Ring of Aquila for now on TA. Sometimes you'll see like a fast phase boots if you really want to go for the kills, but it's a bit kind of all-inish. The treads is just better for farming ancients and being able to tread toggle between using your spells. So for now, he just wants the early game ring to boost up this laning stage of his. But Abaddon, 12 CS against Jug's 25, so even though MSS has a 1v1 as an Abaddon, it's not really translating to a 1 lane. But with Blade Fury on cooldown, there's a charge coming in.
Yeah, they could go for an attempt on a kill here. Indeed, he has a healing ward. And the question is if the bash has come through. MSS ready to dive in deep with 1437, a good bash. So there we have Blade Fury coming back off cooldown. And with that, Ramses, he'll be fine. So, yeah, they're trying to work around having that cooldown down on the Blade Fury, but can't quite finish him off before it comes back up.
Yeah, decent attempt, but couldn't quite get the follow-up there. They TP'd in Rubik SPG, perhaps to be TP's a bit earlier, so they have that disable from telekinesis to pull him back. Could have been a bit different, but NP just didn't quite have the damage needed. That's one of the things with his Abaddon on the offlane is he doesn't necessarily do that much actual damage output when the aphotic shield, unless you're proccing like 2 aphotic shields in a row. It's a lane where you're not really all that scary to verse. Ramses has his healing ward out, so he's farming just fine. He's level 6, he's bottom lane. Thought about going for a dive there, but couldn't quite get in range.
Yeah, Ramsey's very much ready to use that Omni, and ideally before MSS hits the 6.
And MSS doesn't want to be zoned out with this wave of XP at his tower. Ramsey similarly, phase boots, wants to charge in, and he's looking for the kill.
Yeah, MSS in trouble
here.
here.
1 CS, this range creep will get him in, he's fine, he'll live.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
And Ramsey's realized.
He
doesn't realize, yeah. He does not realize that the 6 was just hit on MSS.
That was a sick bait from MSS, and not sure if he can turn it around.
They've got Blade Fury. So with that, yeah, it looks like he will be fine. In fact, he's going in aggressive on MSS.
He's still got a healing ward here. He gets the, I think he mangoed the IO there, so he got double mana for himself. Well, not double, but he got extra mana for himself.
Yeah.
So, big boost to his mana, and suddenly he's full HP and full mana, despite using Omni/Blade Fury and getting low on HP, he's back to full. That's the beauty of the IO. Nice bit of mango play there with the tether, and VP stabilizes his bottom lane. Yeah, you don't get the kill, but Jug is still free farming away and just has to play around Omni/Bing on cooldown now.
Yeah, and of course CS across the map, top 3 all on the side of VP, and it's still that mid lane where the numbers looking quite fantastic for no one on the TA. 49-21 at 7 minutes in. It really feels like he hasn't missed a creep with those kind of numbers at this early on in the game.
He has a quadruple stack at his Ancients as well, so...
Damn, that's going to be a scary TA.
Yeah, that's brutal. It's very, very farm TA coming our way. That's where he'll really pull ahead in terms of farm and XP.
I've just been interested to see what he opts for this game. He's picked up the Blight Stone. What's he got on the anything? I mean,
it's really either Blink Deso or Deso then Blink.
Yeah, which order? Yeah.
I really can't. I feel like the Blink is generally the more commonly bought approach just because you can go more aggressive with it, whereas Deso you don't have that initiation. So with the Blink Dagger you can you farm just as fast really because you can blink around and you've got that blink catch potential with Meld Strike. So I prefer seeing the Blink, but I don't really know for sure, like based on playing the TA, when you go which build. But imagine for mid lane or Pasha, Smoke coming in, looking for Envy. The trap slows him down.
Yeah, knocking about with the flame break into the lasso, and Envy taken down. Of course, first kill for VP, but it's a big one. Further pushing MV behind in this game where he already was suffering massively in this mid lane. 65 CS on no one, as you said. There's this ancient stack as well.
He's about to farm it.
This has got to be one of the biggest TAs we've seen in competitive. 8.5 minutes in. It's ridiculous.
It's big reminiscent of Thug's TA that we saw in the qualifiers, where he went mid against Miracle of Liquid, where he just got out of control on TA. We're seeing a similar thing here with No One's TA. Seems like this hero's kind of just re-emerged in the meta.
I mean, it's a very fun hero to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a very high skill hero because essentially it is a squishy hero. I mean, obviously you've got the refraction, but you know, one misplay and TA can get absolutely punished.
Yep.
So it's very satisfying watching TA.
But yeah, this ancient stack going to be easily farmed. A bit of farm and XP at the mid lane being missed out on, but not the end of the world. AUI going to try farm his ancients, so both teams just kind of mirroring one another as far as playing. This is feeling like more like the farming efficiency game for now, but VP are getting way more out of it just because of mid lane.
Yeah.
2k net worth to the 5k net worth TA. So even he's doing more than double. Like at this point, if you're stomping your mid, you're doubling his net worth, but he is that and a half. So he is crushing Envy. Jackie is having a rough time and not looking like that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, this TA, of course, just going to be able to do so much more for the team before Envy gets properly online with his Invoker.
You asked about the build, it will be the Deso first. The pros of this is more that you can push buildings a bit earlier on because you've got the Deso damage to just siege, and if you've got this strong 5-man with healing ward, with the IO, you can just siege down towers and not care about having the blink initiation. And you can kind of look to just chase down heroes as needed using traps. But you have a little less chase potential, but you trade that for more early game DPS.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of the heroes around him, he has Bloodlust and Ignite to help close gaps, Lasso, and Relocate. So a lot of ways you can get the TA into the right position.
Yep. VP playing this early game very passively, but it's kind of one of those things where VP is not really a passive team as a whole. Like I wouldn't say that's their playstyle, but when you're winning the lanes this hard, why go for kills when you're just out-farming your opponents?
Oh, nicely done up top.
Yeah, nice kill, but realistically, like, you're still dominating the lanes. I think VP feel that with how farm their TA is and how much their bat has Tranquil's drums. Like, that's a ridiculous amount of farm for an off-lane bat at 10 minutes in, so I'm sure VP is looking at this lane stage like, we're free farming all 3 lanes. They've actually free farmed 3 lanes. Io's juggling with spirits. They're winning 3 lanes plus farming the jungle. They are crushing NP right now, even without getting killed at all.
Yeah, obviously the strength at the moment for MP is in Aoi. He is still up there. He's ahead of Ramsey, but there's a lot of weight on his shoulders. Top lane, talking about the man. The tower getting denied in front of his nose, and himself to fall as well. And obviously that is the pain for MP, because that is the hero that they're relying on. They're relying on Aoi to carry them through this game, honestly.
Charged in bottom though.
They get away with a little kill, pulling over the Omni Slash, coming in on the back lines. Ramsey's.
And they can't even get Lil.
Second hero. MSS does have the ult, so we'll be able to tank up some of the tower hits. It's a good, decent amount of heal, but they'll just chase this forward. Ramsey's getting in position with the Blade Fury. They get the Abaddon. It's a triple kill for Ramsey's. In fact, with that charger, can they get 1-4-3-7 now? Looks like he's a little too speedy. They can't chase him down, but giving Ramsey's a triple kill, that's dangerous territory here for MP.
It's not good. Envy still, no minus, will be about 12, 13 minutes in. I've seen like Invoker games where they've struggled and had these 12-minute minuses and still gone on to like get top net worth though. So it's
Envy can catch. It depends how quickly this game starts to fall out of control.
Envy's definitely behind, but he's not like miles behind. The thing is, TA is miles ahead. It's more where the TA is. You don't get any more farm than this when it comes to playing TA. Invoker, like this is just a slightly bad game. This isn't like Envy's been. He's not 0-3 with like 20 CS. He's got 45 CS. He's only died once. That's like acceptable for an Invoker start. But yeah, TA is. It's gonna feel like it's unacceptable just because of how farm TA is.
Yeah, and I know how much no one can do in comparison to what Envy can offer with the tools that he's got at this stage of the game. Just 12 minutes in.
Smoke up on VP. Probably want to fight around the Deso of TA. You don't want your TA getting ganked at this stage. He's top of the net worth. It's a big bounty to feed away. So I imagine they will linger around this mid lane. They are heading to the Dire jungle, so kind of helping protect the mid lane by finding a kill, and it looks like mid isn't even being defended.
It's going to be a very quick blink follow-up as well for no one, but you know, at this rate. He's already on 1400 on top of the Deso. And they may just find themselves a bit of action. They've got Lasso onto Wolf437. He'll turn with a quick charge, but they've got the Fire Blast holding him in the Firefly. He doesn't get the chance off for the Nether Strike. As that is going to be 1437 falling down. Another kill for VP as they sit 5 for 2. And both of their big cores, Ramses and No One, sitting at the top of the charts for the moment.
Yeah. Brutal stuff. There we go. Looks like they'll keep the IO Jug home. They're ready to relocate though, so potentially see a IO Jug relocate somewhere on the map. But no, they're just going to walk back to lanes. They leave the TA mid. And the thing is, TA can push mid with just one hero behind, because if they go in TA, there will be that IO +1 relocating in. So it's really hard for MP to find pickoffs. Often you're in this really bad position. You're getting out farm. You're losing the early to mid game. You want to go for smoke plays where you smoke up, find a kill, and back off. You don't want to take team fights when you're at 9 disadvantage. But doing that against teams with IO, there's such a high risk involved. So NP are kind of trapped to just continuing to try and farm or go for a riskier smoke play. They will take the risky approach, which at this point you're far enough behind that it's probably justified, and they need to try and ideally get kills off of this. A T1 tower by itself is not really going to change the state of this game, but it is at least better than nothing.
Yeah, they want to try and get Aoi involved. Helmet of the Dominator, Echo Saber finish. Just got level 11 as well. That second punic block strength can make all the difference. Mid lane though, No One putting the pressure in. TPs will come through. A charge as well onto the TA. No One could be in trouble here. Telekinesis back. They have the stolen blade here from SVG doing a lot as well. They'll meld up. Who's got the vision? That's the question. In fact, well, they're bringing Ramsey in, so No One should be fine. He gets charged by 1437. They've already lost the Rubik. Now with the lasso onto Aoi. Unleash Dash coming through. Lots of bounce onto MSS. He has the ult, so he'll be fine for the time being. They managed to take solo. They'll turn with the Fire Blast onto Envy. The Podic Shield allowing him to walk off. No One trying to chase. With the War Cry as well. Envy a little too tanky for No One to deal with. Oh, he looks for the side lanes and he finds it though. Oh! Your armor ain't gonna do anything against the pure damage of that beauty. And now surrounding Aoi. Ramsey's taunting him, kiting him up. Aoi, can he get a kill? He will with the Echo Saber, but loses his life as well. No One surviving through it all. And just getting so much done in that fight, and just beautiful usage of the side blades. One of the things that Warcry is not going to counter.
Yeah, he backed off wisely. Realized that the heroes are a bit far away, but there was a creep wave in between him and the heroes, so you may as well just bounce those attacks right off of them onto NP, killing off the Invoker, and then follows up with the Abaddon kill. Really nicely played. NP did what they could when the relocate came in. NP made sure to focus solo first with the Forward Spirits plus his right-click damage. He killed the IO very fast, which did limit VP's sustain as well as their ability to chase, but the TA not dying at the start of that fight just meant that No One was always going to just go ham that fight. There was nothing they could do. They had no answers for him. And it's only going to get harder as he picks up his next item, as he's already up to 2k gold.
Yeah, Manta on Ramses. It is proven to be a tricky one for MP. And as you said, you know, a lot of it does come out down to how well the mid lane went for No One, which of course you have to attribute a little bit down to the ping issues, but also to the fact that I think, you know, on paper, you know, Envy, one of his weaker points may be in the laning phase, especially when heroes like Invoker. Obviously he's come absolute leaps and bounds in how good his Invoker is with the practice, the hours that he's put in playing the hero. But still, when you put it up against someone like No One on TA, that, you know, it's been this man's bread and butter for absolute years in Dota.
Yeah.
And you start to see this kind of performance come out.
It's one of those things where the ping maybe had a small influence, but it wasn't the deciding factor by any means.
Because No One is such a good mid lane.
Yeah, it's always going to be a matchup where the TA wins the CS battle against the Invoker, and with No One, like, I think the player matchup is NB's strength isn't so much his laning mechanics. It comes like strategically in the mid to late game is where he's good.
Yeah, and his shot, his shot call.
Yeah, his shot calling is absolutely amazing most of the time.
And incredibly entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, SVG, he's got invis. They know he's there. They'll pop him out, and that meld's not going to work for you. With an Aegis, VP could threaten high ground. They've got the sustain from the healing ward if they bring in the IO plus Jug, but does mean they won't have. They'll only have the IO there for 10 seconds, so it's not the ideal way to try and 5-man push a high ground. If anything, switching it up to the mid lane. Dire Ancients is a double stack. They can play the farm game. And again, you're at that point where if you're pushing high ground with TA with 4k in the bank, it's not really a 12k net worth TA. It's just like a 8.5k net worth TA. You may as well spend this money before you go for that high ground push. You've still got 4 minutes left on the Aegis. You're in no rush. No one's just kind of in that position where it's like, what item do I get? It could be anything. You could get a Moonshot, you could get a Daedalus, get a Butterfly, you could get a BKB. Any item is good.
It really, with Solo on the team on the Aya, it feels like he doesn't really need the BKB because Solo is there to help him out in situations. They've got the vision with the walls down. They see Envy on his own, and that'll allow Patch to get the quick jump and pick off. And it is just, at this point, incredibly scary for Envy. If VP coming hard down whichever lane they want to, 5k in the bank of no one. It's getting incredibly out of control. Aoi now has a Blink Dagger, but
that's the one item MP were perhaps waiting for to give them a small glimmer of hope in any kind of a team fight, but it's still Aoi versus the world. He's got some good control from his teammates as well as utility, like a Vlad's on Abaddon with the Aphotic Shield, able to purge off some of the Batrider spells is nice, but...
And actually he's going for the Manta start.
Sure. Again, any item works. It's not really a... At this point, there's no obvious best item because you're just so far ahead. Any item is good. Anything, it's statsy helps you play.
He did jump in, but immediately the Fire Blast out in response. He's trying to make a beeline for Solo. Will be able to take down the Aya, but the turnaround comes as Ramses with the Omnislash. They've brought down 1.37. No one takes a double kill. This could start to get messy for MP. No one. Can he get himself anything more? MSS has the ult. Will back off. There'll be a buyback from 1.437. And there we have no one jumping in again. Looking towards MSS. MSS just getting himself away. No one held back by any tornado from Heavy again. The charge through with the Fire Blast stopping at 1.437. He'll be taken down. He's going to be out for 30 seconds alongside Aoi, and no one jumping in for more with the trap slow, pushing them in. MP saved only just by the Aphotic Shield, but MP forced back the base. No one can he get himself out of this one. He's still got the Aegis, so he'll still be all right whatever happens. He's got the backup as Solo. He'll be healed back. In fact, he just jumps in and takes SVG's life. 16-5, 20 minutes in. VP running away.
He doesn't even have the Manta on him. Now he finally gets the Manta. He was actually pushing without that net worth. I mean, that's kind of overconfidence from VP, but rightful overconfidence because they've just walked away with this game. They didn't even need the TA to spend like 7k in net worth. The Manta plus 2.5k in the bank was not even spent by no one when they went for this push. It was just a lineup that could not be stopped.
Oh, man! He died!
With ulti on.
The male burst damage was so much that it went over the threshold.
While popping his ult.
You still heard it? I guess the ult must have a bit of a cast point, and he just died before the cast. But I definitely heard the dog.
If you use like Laguna Blade or something, you can burst the Abaddon before it goes off.
Yeah, because it's a threshold that if you do it, it's like I don't think, actually not like anything else. No, it's just that ult, yeah.
It's the nail. I mean, that sums up that game. Abaddon couldn't even ulti. You think the ultimate is auto-cast, but no, but you're getting stopped so hard the ultimate stops working.
The ultimate gave up. It was just like that. Yeah, this ain't saving this game. But yeah, pretty brutal.